All right, welcome. Today we're jumping headfirst into a really fascinating and, let's be honest, pretty radical blueprint for reality. It comes from a source known as Bashar. We're going to break down its core ideas about time, consciousness, and a pretty startling prediction for our near future that, well, it might just change how you see, well, everything.
So let's just start with a big question, one that really sits at the heart of all this. What if first contact, I mean real, undeniable contact with non-human intelligence, wasn't some sci-fi movie thing? What if it was actually scheduled to happen in just a few years?
Because, according to this material, that's not just a what if. No, there is a very specific prediction on the table for the year 2026, an event that's said to completely change the course of human history as we know it.
Okay, so here it is. The prediction says that sometime between the end of 2026 and the beginning of 2027, a huge first contact event is going to unfold. One that will be so obvious, so undeniable that most people on the planet will know about it. Now, for a claim that big, you have to ask, how is that even possible? And to answer that, we have to basically rethink everything we assume about reality itself. And that brings us to the physics of this whole thing, the fundamental mechanics of the universe according to this source. And it's a model that really challenges our deepest assumptions. It suggests that time and space, they're not these fixed, solid things we think they are. They're much more flexible. So get this, the core idea is that there are an infinite number of parallel realities, and they're all coexisting right here, right now. What we think of as time passing is actually our consciousness, our awareness, shifting between these static, frozen snapshots of reality, and it's doing it billions of times every single second. It's just like a movie projector, right? Each reality is a single, still frame. Our consciousness is the light that zips through them so fast it creates this perfect illusion of movement, of life unfolding. And this is where it really flips the script. We're all taught the conventional view, right? The past creates the present. What happened yesterday made you who you are today. But in this model, it's the total opposite. Every single moment, you are literally a new person in a brand new reality. And from your state right now in the present, you are actually creating a past that is consistent with who you are now. You're not a product of your history. You are the creator of your history. Wild, right? And this quote just perfectly captures the next point. The source uses this great analogy of a mirror. Think about it. If you look in the mirror and you see a frown, you don't start shouting at the mirror, telling it to change, right? No, of course not. You have to smile first for the reflection to change. In the exact same way, the outer world, our reality, is just a reflection of our inner state. Real change has to start inside us. So if we're all constantly creating our own reality, what's the collective story that we've been telling? Well, this framework also offers a totally different backstory for humanity, a secret history, you could say. It reframes a lot of modern myths and gives us a new context for our place in the universe.
Okay, take the so-called alien abduction phenomenon. According to this source, it's totally misunderstood. The idea here is that these beings, they aren't really extraterrestrials at all. They're actually our distant relatives, mutated humans from a parallel version of Earth that they destroyed. And because they could no longer reproduce, their only hope for survival was to gather viable DNA from our timeline to create hybrid species. So in this view, it wasn't a hostile act, but a necessary exchange.
And this whole idea of hybridization, it all leads to this one major point, that humanity itself is in the process of becoming what this source calls the sixth hybrid race. It's presented as the next natural step in our spiritual evolution, getting us ready to join a much larger cosmic family.
Okay, so if reality is this fluid, and we're on this huge evolutionary journey, how do we actually navigate it all? Like, how do we choose which parallel reality we shift to next? Well, the source provides a surprisingly simple and practical 5-step formula for doing exactly that. So here's the formula. Number 1, you act on your highest passion, your greatest excitement. 2, you act on it to the absolute best of your ability with everything you've got. 3, and this is the one that gets a lot of us, you have to have zero insistence on what the outcome looks like. You just trust the process. 4, you stay in a positive state no matter what happens, because that's how you can actually receive the gift in any situation. And finally, 5, you're constantly examining your own beliefs, and you're willing to let go of the ones that no longer serve you.
But why does following your passion actually work? Well, according to this model, we have two parts to our mind. The physical mind, our everyday ego, and a non-physical higher mind. Your higher mind is like someone standing on a mountaintop who can see the whole path through the valley below, while you, the physical mind, are down in the valley. The higher mind can't talk to you in words, so it communicates with energy. And your physical mind interprets that energy as the feeling of passion, excitement, or creativity. So when you act on your passion, you're literally following the map your higher self is giving you. So when you put all of this together, it leads to this really powerful shift. Instead of being defined by a past you think you can't change, this model suggests you can start living your life based on the future by connecting with the version of yourself you most want to become. And this is maybe the most empowering piece of the whole puzzle. It really doesn't matter what happens to you. External events are actually neutral. What matters, what creates your reality, is what you do with what happens. It's the meaning you give it, the state you choose to be in, that literally determines which parallel reality frame you shift to next. So to bring this all the way back to that incredible prediction for 2026, the idea isn't that you're just sitting around waiting for the world to change. No, you change yourself. By changing your internal frequency, your state of being, you physically shift to a parallel version of Earth that is already a perfect match for that new you. This is how different people can live on the same planet but have completely different experiences, including whether or not they land on a version of Earth that experiences first contact. So, we'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. If the world you experience every day is truly just a mirror, a reflection of your own inner state, of the beliefs you hold to be true, then what are you going to choose to see in that reflection next?